Hello, I'm Tom Scoley from Pole Fishing Magazine, and I'm joining Nick Palmer today from Real Ideas. And what he's demonstrating to me is his Clever Claw Mark II. Now, as you can see, it's a very clever invention, as the name suggests. And it's basically allowing Nick to feed pellets on the long pole in what is actually quite a stiff breeze, as you can probably hear, while he's fishing 14.5 metres with both hands free. So it's a system that's sort of proven, isn't it, Nick? It's been on the go for quite a while, but I know you have made some improvements to it.
It was, as you say, it's the Mark II, so
yep.
it's a wider, it's V-shaped arm giving support on both sides of the pole.
Right.
So you get a lot more stability.
Yep.
And as you can see, I'm able to load my catapult, fire it out over my pole tip. I can just swing the bait over.
Well, it's working really well, isn't it? I mean, quite literally, all you've got there is obviously the butt of the pole resting in the claw, and then you're just supporting it with your knee, aren't you?
That's correct, yeah.
And I mean,
yeah.
I suppose you can do that at any length, can you, Nick? Depending on what height you set the claw at.
Yeah, lifting up and down with your, just lift your heel
yeah.
to lift your legs so you can tease your bait up and down.
The beauty of this setup is it does automatically release, doesn't it?
That's right, yeah. At any point in time that I decide that I want the pole back, now in my control, now yeah. whether that's when I get a fish on
yeah.
or I just decide that I want it back in my control, I push down and it springs undone.
That's brilliant.
So just turn, push together, let's engage the claw, and it's that upward pressure from your pole keeping it firmly locked.
Got you. It's as simple as that then, really?
Yeah, yeah. There's one stainless steel spring
yeah.
and 4 teeth, and when you relieve the upward pressure, the stainless steel spring can push the teeth apart and flick it through 180 degrees instantly.
Definitely. In terms of attaching this to your box or whatever setup you've got, is the claw supplied with a simple sort of bank stick size thread, so you can just attach it to whatever sort of box attachment you want? Is that roughly right?
That's exactly that.
Most of the major companies have got a universal range of attachments, so you can,
that's right, yeah,
you can pretty much fit it to any seat box you want. So what happens now then, Nick? Obviously you've hooked into a fish.
Yeah, I've hooked into a fish. I'm just letting the Clever Claw do the work. I'm just going to flick a bit more bait out there. So the fish is on, push down with my elbow, claws
Springs
released.
Off. And that's that spring mechanism you talked about, isn't it? Releasing.
Yeah. Bring it back to about 11 metres, something like that. I'm just going to pop the claw back on.
Alright, so you can actually use it to support your pole midway back and loose feed while the fish is on.
That's right, yeah, that's right. I've still got my hands free. Flick a bit more bait out, just to keep them interested. Dip down with my arm again. This time I can bring it right back.
That's brilliant.
Number 4 section there, so I'll just pop that back on, just being.
And of course, I suppose the fact that you've got a fish on and there's pressure on the elastic keeps pressure on the claw, so it stays locked.
That's exactly it, Tom. Yeah. So I can fire some more bait, just keep me interested.
Good old fish as well, that one, isn't it? It's a big fish.
Yes, there are lumps in here. I'll have to bring my bigger net next time and come, Tom.
That's a lovely fish. Flipping heck, Nick. Just lift that right up. Blinking heck, that is £10, isn't it?
It's a nice looking fish.
Cracking. That was a lovely fish, that was, Nick. I noticed you've got something around your pole there. What's that?
Well, that's my Twister pole rig hookups. Just hook your hook on them, like so, without any elastic pulled out. When you want to start fishing, you just twist those two little loops apart,
right.
Take it off, put it down, start fishing with that section.
And what happens if you want it down here, if you've got a deeper rig?
We use different sizes.
Oh,
in every pack there's 7 different sizes, ranging from your shortest rig that you could ever imagine using, going right down onto the biggest red colour, which goes right down onto your number 4 section.
Does it really? So it doesn't matter how deep your rig is, you've got a twister thing that'll suit it.
And each one is made from durable, non-perishable nylon. They're not elasticated, but because you twist them together like so, each one, you see each one slides a couple of feet.
Got you, yeah.
So this brown one will accommodate a rig of about 5 foot, probably up to about 7 foot.
Right, brilliant. Obviously you were fishing 14.5, but there are times out there when the fish back off and you want to push out to 16 metres.
Yep, yep. And if the weather conditions dictate, you'll see me fishing at 11 with a Clever Claw.
Yeah.
You know, if it's too windy for 13,
so you can
14
come shorter as well. I mean, 11 metres is about the shortest you'd recommend, though, you were saying, weren't you?
Yeah, unless you're using one of these other setups, which we'll have a look at in a minute.
We'll look at it a bit, yeah.
Right, so 14.5, just hook the Clever Claw on there. If you want, you can actually just, while you're messing about doing this, you can just lock it, spin
right.
That won't release on you anymore while you're messing about, put another section on like that. Right,
so you have got that security then. If you do want to lock it in place, it's just a little spindle on there that you spin around and that holds it there.
Exactly. So I'm going to undo it because I could get a take at any second. Yeah. But because I'm going to 16 metres, you'll see that I'm going to have a bit more droop on the pole.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually just going to crack off that bank stick. Just lift the pole tip up a bit.
Simple as that.
Lock it back up. And that's me fishing 16 metres.
And where's the best place to get them from?
At the moment, my website.
Yeah.
You know, we are looking to get it into retail again in the future, but that's at the moment for my website is the best place.
And what's your website?
It's www.realideas.eu.
Brilliant. I mean, obviously we've talked briefly that you can use the Clever Claw on most seat box setups, but what about if you like to fish from a chair? I mean, of course, the great thing, I think we've already mentioned it when we talked about the seat box, but the fact that it does just literally screw into any bank stick means that it quite literally will fit onto any system, won't it? It'll
fit on any system, and I have known people who actually put it on bank sticks.
Brilliant.
And then there's the setup, another setup from a seat box, but using a bump bar or spray bar, which
so you wouldn't even need to rest it on your legs?
No, there's a lot of people don't want to sit with a pole on the legs. It's more of a match fishing technique.
Yeah. Somebody
who wants to do a bit of pleasure fishing, or there are occasions when I use it on a bump bar or spray bar, and that's when I'm river fishing with flat floats.
Brilliant.
I want to keep the pole still.
So it really can do everything?
Yeah, pretty versatile, to say the least.
Obviously, Nick, you just showed us what the Clever Claw can do for people wanting to fish a long pole, but this is a very different application for it. You're fishing a feeder here, aren't you, with this?
You need one of these method feeder rests.
Yeah.
The reel goes in front of the rest to deliver the upward pressure that keeps the claw locked.
Got you. So, and when a fish gets hold of it, I suppose it's very, very difficult for it to pull out, simply because all the weight's there and that's gripping the butt, isn't it?
That's right, yeah, because when the rod goes round, what happens is the handle tries to go that way, which actually makes the teeth lock even harder.
Got you.
So when I do get a fish on, I reach for the reel seat, I give a quick flick with the wrist, the claw's released, and then I'm into the fish.
Brilliant. You're on it. Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
So that feeder's gone round now.
Yeah.
There's a fish on that, and that's just holding it in place.
That's holding it in place.
I mean, that's really going now, isn't it?
Right, now I need to release the claw, and we're in.
Lovely job. Well, I've seen it all now, Nick. Not only can you use a Clever Claw to help you fish great big long lengths of pole, but you can use it to act as a very, very good feeder rest. And I mean, in today's sort of current climate, where these sort of self-hooking methods are so popular, like the method feeder, pellet feeder, etc. It really is a great commodity to have, because there are a lot of rod and reels get lost every year at the end of the day, aren't there?
That's right. I don't think there's many anglers that do this type of fishing that haven't had their rods pulled in.
No, I think you're right. They're lively, aren't they? So fit, these fish.
He's itching to get back in the water, isn't he?
He is, isn't he? Another nice fish. They're sort of six pound, is he probably?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well done. What a lovely way to end the day.